Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Chimbetti, along with my partner, Mike Egan. Well, okay, partner, probably the wrong word, but
Well, today's day,
you never know.
You never know.
But welcome.
We share the same barber.
Yeah. To another edition of Home Team Advantage, and we have quite a bit of high school sports to talk about. I don't know how up you are on it, but I know
I was up till midnight trying to get all my information put together and my stats and everything. But then the dog ate the paper.
But we'll start. Tennis is in there. It has their Section 7A contest going on. Assuming that they were supposed to play here in Hibbing today at 9 o'clock, unless the weather, of course.
Right.
They were going to move it to Virginia, so I don't know if they're going on or not. But they play the semifinals against Hermantown, and then later on in the day they'll play either Rock Ridge or Cloquet if they win. That's not a given because Hermantown did beat them here 5-2 a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So. Good luck. I mean, I don't know if we should say good luck to them or not, but because this will be by the time this airs.
Good luck.
Well, we can, but this is going. By the time this airs, it's probably going to be over. So, I hope they can at least advance to the finals because Rock Ridge will probably win.
Yeah.
It's probably a given. I don't think they even have to worry about it. If they do, well,
if they're playing outside, you never know, Gary. Maybe the wind blows.
Well, it does, but it's not that windy today. I don't think it's just
cold, and
overcast,
miserable.
and yeah.
Welcome to Minnesota.
May 19th, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, we get some nice days, and then it's going to snow again. And
Yeah.
I'm surprised it hasn't. Yesterday was kind of weird. It was really nice out,
Yep.
and then obviously some storms came through, but we didn't get a whole lot of rain.
Oh, there ain't but boy, did that wind blow. And we had some power outages around town, and thankfully our sponsor at Caribou Coffee didn't have a power outage.
Not today, anyway. I don't know if they had one last night or not, but
That's really cool. I thought coffee was supposed to be warm.
it's not a coffee. That's a
So why do they call
Cooler.
it Caribou Coffee?
because you have
Come on now,
different
this
kind of
is
coffees.
the in-depth reporting I want to get there.
You have coolers and coffee, and that's not even either one of those.
It can't be coffee then.
It's
Coffee's
not, well,
supposed to be warm.
Whatever. I don't know.
You guys.
I know is
you
that
youngsters.
it's the best place to go in the city in the morning when you want something.
Caribou Coffee? That's because all you guys sit around the table there and chit-chat.
Chit chat. Well, that's a Sunday morning thing.
Hot, there was Scotty Too Hottie Danielson.
He doesn't show up there anymore.
Doesn't he?
No.
Oh.
So I don't know what the deal
You
is
get
with him.
excommunicated?
Not by any of us. So I don't know why he
Maybe
never
our
comes.
sponsor, Caribou Coffee,
Well,
excommunicated.
yeah, maybe.
Okay, we're done with that.
All
Let's
right.
go. All right, Dennis.
But tennis, that's they're again, good luck to them. Baseball, they got. I heard they lost to Hermantown. They didn't report anything. They were playing Esco. We're behind 14-4, and I think some weather came in and
Saved them.
well, it didn't necessarily save them. I think they're just gonna.
Pick up where they left off.
No, they're just gonna call it. and-
Call it a 10-run rule.
whatever they do there. But last night, or yesterday afternoon at 1 o'clock, they were playing Cloquet here. And it was a game it was a reschedule of a reschedule. This is how he explained it to me. And then it was due to busing issues and umpire issues. It was supposed to be played in Cloquet, but they moved it here. So Cloquet was the home team here. So I didn't even know they were playing because they didn't tell me, but I saw it in the schedule. So about 1:30, it started at 1, about 1:30, I got ready and went down there. And I noticed that the home team or the visiting team was up 2-0 already after an inning and a half or so. And they had already had a weather delay because of lightning.
Right.
So fortunately I got there and got caught up right away.
Good.
But then I found out we were the visiting team and we had scored 2 runs, so I thought, this isn't too bad. Well, then we got 2 more runs in the third inning on back-to-back home runs
Wow.
by Josh Kivala and Dane Mamengay. And it was the funniest. I mean, I was still writing names in my book, and all of a sudden I knew Josh was up, and I heard this click off the bat, and all of a sudden I heard it off the pole out in right field.
Wow.
So he hit it right off one of the poles. But now that fence fell over. You know, that big, you know, the green kind of the green monster.
Yeah.
It fell over, so they cut it down. Well, had that wall been there,
It would have
it
bounced
might
off the
probably
wall.
hit the wall with the
Yeah.
longest single in Josh's career, probably.
Huh.
But so he got a home run, and then the next pitch, Dane hit it over the left field wall, and it was just kind of being in the dugout was just kind of crazy because they, you know, it was hard to believe that they did that.
Right.
Now, I asked him after the game if that's ever happened before, if you've ever hit back-to-back home runs. And I'm not going to doubt Jay because he says it has happened before, but I can't recall in my lifetime ever seeing back-to-back home runs.
Maybe an opposite team might have hit back to
Well, I don't know, and I'm not going to doubt him again, like I say, because he's been to all the games. Maybe it's been away games, but it is the first time, however, that's been on consecutive pitches because they were both first pitches at the at bats. So
So did you win the game?
they won. Yeah, they ended up winning 10-3.
Good.
So now they have their Wood Bat Classic coming up, starting tomorrow, starting Friday, 4 o'clock or 4:30. It'll be the first game, and he has Cloquet's coming back. Proctor will be here, and Rosa will be here for that. So
Hopefully they'll all bring their long underwear.
well, yeah, it's
Maybe
gonna
chilly.
be. Yeah, I suppose Saturday morning is going to
Yeah.
be because I think they start at 10 a.m. Saturday morning. So
A little hard on the hands when it's swinging a bat.
yeah, especially a wood bat, I would
Yeah.
think. But yeah, so hey, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, the Wood Bat Classic is always a fun tournament, and go out there and support.
How's the field?
Fields looks great.
Good.
It really does. I mean,
Nice job by the.
yeah, they
By the
did a
city?
good job by
Good.
doing that. Yeah, the outfield was cut, and it had those striations in it,
Right.
like you see on a green.
Striation.
Striation.
Where'd you come up with that one?
It just popped into my head.
Okay. Whew, that's good.
But
Anything else popping up?
no.
Okay.
But yeah, take in some games. I mean, there'll be obviously 4 teams, so there'll be 2 games tomorrow night, and then there'll be maybe 4 games on Sunday
Yeah,
or
get out and
Saturday.
help sponsor the local high school team, and I'm sure they use it kind of as a fundraiser for their program. So good.
And they're starting to hit the ball. They're starting to play a little better baseball now that they're getting about halfway through their schedule. So, well, actually, this week they had 5 games this week, and that's like a quarter of their games in 1 week.
Right.
So it's like,
Well, unfortunately, the weather hasn't cooperated, so now they got to push everything together. And there's only 12 days left of school or something. So
and playoffs head into June, and
Yeah.
I think they're out of school by then. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting 3 weeks coming up here.
I think a few years ago when school was done, didn't they go play in the state tournament down in St. Paul and do fairly well? But that was after school.
Yeah, that was after school as well. Yeah, that's when they made that big comeback against Alex
Right.
and ended up in the finals against I want to say Waconia, and they played at Target Field.
Yeah. Nice.
The opportunity's there, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
Good.
Softball I think they lost to Hermantown Monday. They lost to Superior, which I heard after I didn't get down there in time either because they had a game at, I think it was at 1 or 2, but I was doing something. I was at golf meet on Monday, so I missed that one. But in talking to the Katie and Jen, Superior's has a catcher that's going to Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
And she hit a home run in that game. I guess she also picked up a bunt that Hibbing laid down and just gunned a runner out at second base.
Wow.
So that's a whole different level.
Yep.
I don't know how certainly you can compete with it, but it's
And then Hibbing team is missing a player now too. The young Skya girl.
Oh, but yeah, Bella broke her
broke her
jaw,
jaw
I
or
guess.
something,
Yeah. So she's out. Who knows how long? Hope she's back soon. But their other catcher got hurt, but I guess she came back. So fortunately, Maddie wasn't hurt too seriously. So
Good. What else we got?
track girls were second at the Lake Superior Conference meet on Tuesday. Boys were sixth.
How's our pole vaulter doing?
She cleared 11.6 and 1.
Wow.
One that, well, yeah, but she's looking at 12s
Yeah.
and 13s, I think. But maybe she's getting there. I don't know. I hope she does. But she won a couple events, and their 4x8 won, and Jory Anderson, I believe, won the 1600. So they had a couple winners there. But I just looked at it this morning. Don't recall. Cloquet may have won the girls' meet.
So old age for your memory.
I know, it does. Boys, Amari Manning won the, I want to say, long jump, and Jacob Gendrud won the triple jump. So they had a couple winners. So congratulations to them. I don't know what they have coming up. They'll probably have a couple more regular meets and then go into section.
What else?
That does it, I think.
Okay.
Or golf. Well, the golf teams are just, even the teams that came from out of town, one of the coach told me that was only their third meet of the year. So golf has been struggling, obviously, to get going. But now they played yesterday at Giants Ridge for their East Range Conference meet. And I don't know if they weren't even expecting to get that even started because it was supposed to rain all day Wednesday. Right. But they started at 10, and I know they got some holes in. I don't know if they got all 18 in or not, but before the lightning came down. Of course, that wouldn't bother us, would it?
No, you'd be like Caddyshack, the guy that played in the rain. Best round of your life.
Yeah, that would be about it. So, good luck to them. I mean, they'll have a bunch of other meets, some invites. Think they have some invites coming up. Must be a important text there if you're reading it.
It's a Donald Trump.
Oh, okay.
Tells Ron to send his money.
Don't bring that name up.
Okay.
Don't mention my name.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know who I'm talking about. So I think that does it now. Golf is done, and tennis and softball, baseball, and track.
Good.
So there we go.
Now where to?
I don't know.
Those up and down twins?
We only killed 13 minutes. We might be in trouble.
No. I was just watching a movie last night. We could talk about
that. Well, the Twins,
up and down twins,
they're getting ripped on pretty good by sending Royce Lewis back to the minors.
Big mistake.
Well, I know, but he's not going to play over Correa.
I understand it, but the kid can play the outfield. They got a kid playing the outfield that's got a batting average of 120. It's like him and Sano are competing for who has the worst batting.
Well, I get it, but he hadn't had enough time to play any other positions, and he's a darn good shortstop, and he obviously has proved he can hit the ball.
He was batting 320, wasn't he?
Well, I don't keep track of that, but yeah, he was hitting it pretty good. The only other guy, Jose Miranda, they want to seem so quick to send him down too because he's batting below 200. But you know what I noticed with him, and I haven't seen every game, but he doesn't strike out as much as Sano does. So I don't. If he's
nobody strikes out as much as Sano does.
No, but if he's putting the ball in play and just not, getting hits, I mean that's better. I'd rather see him put the ball in play than strike out. So, but yeah, does Royce Lewis deserve to be there? Yes. I mean, he's hit some home runs, hit some doubles, has a decent glove, but again, they're not going to sign Correa for $35 million.
No, he's got to play, but you would think that a kid that has the athletic ability that can probably play anywhere. But then again, being sent down, it's not really that bad. You're going to St. Paul. You're going to play if they need you.
Yeah.
to get an Uber back over to Target Field. I mean, what's the difference? So,
Yeah, so he'll be back up again, I'm sure.
Oh, sure
Whether
he
he
will.
go up to stay or not, we'll see. But with the way the injuries are happening, I'm sure he's going to be needed more than.
Was Buxton back again, or is he out now?
Buxton was back. What do you think about that comment the other day that Baldelli made about we want him to make sure he plays 100 games, so we're going to sit him out?
Oh,
Well, I don't think 100 games is enough, number one. I don't care if they sit him out games and give him a rest, but he's got to play in 35 to 150 games?
well, in order, even if you have to have so many at bats to qualify for any of the post.
Well, for a batting average,
Average,
you do.
and all that
For,
kind
yeah,
of
but
stuff,
for home
so-
runs and stuff like that, you
But-
don't.
You're paying the guy. You signed him for 7 years, so I don't know. Maybe Balboa won't be around for 7 years. But, or what is his name?
Baldelli.
Oh yeah, Baldelli. But that is Rocky. Hey, Rocky.
You're so used to calling him Balboa that
Yeah.
you don't even know his regular name.
And you see him in the dugout. Hey, you kid, come over here. You go out there and pitch the ball.
Good
But,
impression.
sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Buxton, I think he's going to be a bust. I really do. They signed him for 7 years, and he won't be here 7 years. Nope.
Oh, he wants to stay. He
Hey,
wants to.
when
that's
we're
why he
doing the
signed for
show
7 years.
7 years from now, you can take.
I can do that, yeah.
Put
Okay.
$1 on the table.
All right, let's see. I'll be what?
You'll be too old.
I'll be 70.
Yeah.
You'll be what?
I'll be 6 feet under the
Yeah.
dirt and smelling the flowers.
We won't even be able to get on each other for that because I won't remember.
Well, you can come lay on my grave.
That's true.
Look down. Hey, I told you so. Here, have a caribou.
Yeah.
So-
that'll be a good reason to go out to the cemetery then, yes.
And then Paxton has the Tommy John?
Paddock.
Paddock, I mean.
Yeah,
Paxton.
he had Tommy John, so he's out till,
Who knows when.
they said 2024.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got 5 starts out of him trading Taylor Rogers.
Well, maybe that's one of the reasons they St. Louis they're trying to hide him down at St. Paul so
Well.
nobody sees him.
Yeah,
They got to make a trade. They got to do something to get another pitcher. And
well, they had a 7-man rotation, though. They shouldn't need any other pitchers.
they don't need 7 pitchers.
Well, no, but they had it was a 6-man rotation, and then it was a 6-man rotation coming in. Sonny Gray got hurt.
Who?
Sonny Gray.
Oh, never.
He came from Cleveland or from Cincinnati. Sorry.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah. He went down, and then they got Paddock, obviously, and then Josh Winder got added in there as a starter. So it was a 7-man rotation, starting rotation, and now obviously Paddock's gone. So now it's back down to 6, and that should be more than enough. Could they use another nice starter? Certainly.
How many starters do you think actually need?
We need 5 for sure. No, because they don't go on 4 days rest anymore.
They don't pitch more than 5 innings.
Well, I know, but they got to have 5 now for sure, 5 starters. That's just the way it's been. I don't
Well,
disagree with you on that.
Disagree to disagree.
It would
with
be
you.
4. I agree with you that it used to be 4,
Yeah.
and they'd go every 5th day.
I get it. It's funny too. That young kid that throws the ball over 100 miles an hour for him.
Oh, Duran,
They
yeah.
make such a big deal about it. Back in our day, Nolan Ryan threw 100 over 100 every pitch.
time. Well, yeah, but you don't see that.
It was a little crazy sometimes.
But the guy's got control.
Yeah.
That's the
Can you
best
imagine
thing.
trying to hit a 98-mile-an-hour
No.
slider?
Yeah, you watch these high school kids pitch, and you watch the ball come in, and you wonder as you sit up in the press box, as I do, and you wonder what would it be like to stand in there at 100 miles an hour to see a ball coming at you.
No. No, I'd have to be in one of those old night tin cans suits because I'd be the first one to jump.
Oh, I know. That's just amazing, and that shows you how good these players are.
That'd be like driving a NASCAR at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, I couldn't see that either.
My shorts could.
I've gone 80. I'll admit I've gone 80 a couple times, but I don't speed too much. But But I can't even imagine going 120 more miles faster
No,
than.
no, you imagine that?
Yeah, no, can't.
But like you said, even having an object, a rock, thrown at you at 102 miles an hour, that bat's going, oh God, no, not today.
But like I say, that shows how good these batters are that they can hit that.
Yep.
Now I know the strikeouts have increased a lot over the past few years, but all that's due to the launch angle and.
Well, they lowered the mound, so strikeouts are up and home runs are down. So
No.
they're trying to make the game more interesting. I think it should be the opposite.
Yeah,
It's
you
more
wanna
interesting
see.
when they can hit home runs.
Well, it doesn't seem to affect the Yankees,
No,
so
that Babe must have gave him that locker room talk. Maybe.
evidently.
Yeah.
He told me yesterday at the game that he's worried about his Yankees.
Uh-oh.
I said, "What are you worried about?"
Damn Yankees.
They're over almost 20 games over 500 already.
And Rizzo's really coming on for him since the trade from Chicago.
Yeah, and Stanton, Rizzo, and Judge are top 3 in home runs.
What's Judge, 6'8"?
Yeah, and Buxton's right in the middle of those guys with home runs with 11.
No.
So,
But they play more. They play more games.
oh well, certainly, yeah. I don't know how many games Buxton has missed this year,
Too many.
so he'd probably be almost right up there in the league lead in home
Could be.
runs that he played. But Gary Sanchez is coming on. It looks like a little bit. He's starting to hit the ball.
Yep.
You talk about the third base with Lewis. Urshela is finally starting to
Good defensive player.
hit the ball. Yeah, and you see some of those plays he's
Yep.
made defense. That one game he was sitting on his
Hind
rear
end.
end and he made a throw to first base. So it was like, yeah, no, it's
They got the nucleus on a young team. They're the third youngest team in the Major League Baseball, and so they got they had the young men to play the game. But whether or not they can put it all together and their pitching is can hold up, that's going to be the big question.
yeah.
Again.
Well, they are. If you look at Twitter and some of the guys who cover the Twins, they tell you that they have the third best
Rotation.
Well, I don't know about rotation, but the third best bullpen, or so I don't know what it is for sure, but they're right up there as far as the bullpen goes. If they don't walk guys,
You're okay.
you're okay.
Because you got a catcher in Jeffries that can't throw the second base.
Yeah, that's the one place they're hurting is at least
Yep.
defensive. Well, I mean, Jeffers is a defensive catcher. He stops and blocks everything, but when it comes to throwing runners out, it's
Right there.
neither one of them can do it. I
He
don't
can't
think.
hit either.
No, neither one of them. Well, Sanchez can hit, but then he's lacking. Although he hasn't seemed that bad behind the plate this year at points. Like I say, I haven't seen many games.
Last night's game, they had the pitcher from Oakland, Jeff Freeze, throwing to our catcher, Jeff Furs. Jeff Freeze to Jeff Furs. So
Yeah, and I think he's hitting below, or is he hitting above
192.
200, or is he hitting 192 now?
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, I know your favorite player's on the IL for 60 days, so we'll see what happens when he comes back.
nothing.
Maybe he'll, maybe he's that trade piece for Oakland to get that Manaea
That'd be all right.
to come to get him here, and
Yeah.
then they could Oakland. You know how Oakland likes to deal, so
Yeah.
they'll probably deal him to somebody else. And
I noticed too, they still had the elephant logo on their uniform.
oh, okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that stands for. I mean, is it?
That's part of the Ringling. At one time, didn't they have I'm sorry, not Ringling, but the original owner, when they kept winning all the World Series, he said he wanted to have the best show on earth for baseball, so they put the elephant.
No, well,
Ringling Brothers is coming back. Saw that on the news last night.
oh yeah,
Yeah, no animals.
coming to
What are you gonna
Hibbing?
do?
Are they coming to Hibbing? Or?
Well, they haven't done any shows for 3 years now,
Oh,
but they're coming. They're gonna start the Ringling Brothers circus
oh,
again
well,
with no animals.
yeah, I don't know why you'd do that.
I wonder what they're gonna have.
Yeah, a lot of human acts is
Yeah.
what they're gonna have.
Cool.
So, but yeah, no. So that's, that pretty much wraps up the Twins. I mean, the hockey playoffs are still obviously in full bloom, even though
It's been fun
While
watching
they're
some of
gone.
those games. I mean, they're all all the finals went into overtime the first round, except for the Wild. And they had the New York game went into overtime last night, and Edmonton had a close game, 9-6.
6.
Oh.
I know that's the one thing I thought I could get Pat Nicoletti on today to talk about wrap up the Wild and talk maybe a little bit more about it, but that playoff format has to change.
Yeah.
You just can't have teams in the same division playing each other.
Yeah, that part's got to change. But if they would have won a few more games, they would have been playing somebody different.
Well, no, they would have. I'm trying to think who else has that fourth team that. Well, they would have had Nashville.
Yeah, well,
Because that's who Colorado ended up
Right.
with, and Nashville we have a hard time against anyway, so it doesn't matter.
well, first you can't play St. Louis. Now we can't play Nashville.
Well, not saying we can't play them, but
So next year they should lose a few more games and then they'll drop down.
because you don't want that, because then you're playing a number one team in your division.
That's right.
So you don't want that either. But
Yep.
I haven't looked conference-wise. Were they the number 2 team?
Yes.
So they should have been playing the number 7 team. Technically, if you
Yeah.
play it the right
Or were they
way.
the number 1 team?
No, because Colorado was number 1.
Okay.
Because they had the most points. Now, I don't know if the team in the Pacific Division had more points than the Wild, but if the
Yeah.
Wild were number 2, they would have been playing the 7th seed, which would probably have been Edmonton or Calgary. Or not Calgary, Edmonton or Los Angeles.
Yeah. And they always have trouble with Edmonton.
No, they don't have trouble with Edmonton.
Or was it LA?
Well, LA gives them some fits too sometimes.
Wait, for a
But,
guy who doesn't know much about hockey, you know a lot about hockey.
well, whatever.
You've been studying.
Yeah, I just think that's the craziest format ever. It does not even happen in.
Hey, it's the NHL.
Well,
You know what that stands for?
no.
I don't either.
Because it's not for long.
It's not for long. Not
But-
here lately. I don't know.
Then the Vikings have started. I think they're
Who?
the Vikings.
Oh, yes.
You remember that team?
Yes.
Started mini camp, I think.
And the hype's starting already too. Oh, we're gonna be number 1. Oh boy.
Yeah. Good luck.
Wait till they play Green Bay the first game.
Yeah.
We'll see what number 1 looks
Yeah.
like.
Kerry will be all over us
Yeah.
with that one.
Hey, look at that. We did it again.
Well, somehow we filled another. I hate saying that every week. I'm going to stop saying that.
Say what?
Nothing.
Okay. That's
All right,
That's
well-
a whole half an hour of nothing.
Nothing. It's just like Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But we hope you enjoyed the show again.
Send all those emails.
Yep, and we'll see you again next week.
Hibbing Public Access Television would like to thank U.S. Bank for providing us with studio space.